The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Legacy Leavers series on Success Secrets Exposed. Tune in live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or Wednesday mornings in Australia on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. The series showcases experts, changemakers, and disruptors leaving a lasting legacy with those sharing their wisdom with the world.
Good morning, good day, and good afternoon to you all, and welcome to another episode of Success Secrets Exposed. Today we're going to be talking about how to leverage AI to build meaningful connections with the right people. And I'm super excited to be sharing a very, very special guest with you today, Johann Nogueira, who is a visionary entrepreneur, a tech investor, and a business automation expert who has spent nearly 2 decades helping business owners scale with AI-driven strategies. From launching his own lead generation agency to exiting a nationally recognized tech company, Johann understands the power of systems, automation, and how to drive sustainable growth. He's also the founder of Business Authorities, which has impacted over 1 million lives, fostering a community for learning and philanthropy. And his latest venture, Revolutionize, is AI lead generating, where we're going to be talking about helping businesses connect with those right clients, how you can scale effortlessly, and how you can create lasting impact, all things that Johann does day in and day out. So I'd love you to welcome to the stage Johann as we talk about human connection, freeing up time, and leveling the playing field for business. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
You've got no idea how giddily excited I am. My legs have been buzzing under the table, just wanting to deep dive into this conversation with you because of all of the things that you've been creating over the last, certainly the few years, and the impact that I've been seeing across our shared communities over the last 4 or 5 months. So thank you for joining us. It's greatly appreciated.
A pleasure. And when you said last couple of decades, I'm like, oh my God, yes. Yeah, 2004 is when I started, and now a couple of decades means I'm old. Woohoo!
Yeah, I have to put that in there because I feel like that at times too. So we'll just push that to the side, the age thing to push to the side. But the impact, we need time and wisdom to create the impact. So I think that's also becomes relevant too, doesn't it? Which is cool.
For sure.
Now I'm going to ask you, can you take us back to the beginning as to what sparked your passion for automation and AI?
For sure. So AI has only been in the last couple of years. So automation has been there for the last couple of decades at least.
Yeah.
And it started off with eBay. So my first business that I launched was on eBay. And literally I put up something for sale. And it was a bit of software, funnily enough. And it would sell 10, 20 copies overnight while I slept. And I'd wake up the next morning and I would send zip files. Back then, 2004.
Yes.
People had paid me and I'd just send them these zip files and they were all happy and leaving me great feedback. And I went, I did 10 minutes of work today and I got paid more by just sending these little zip files out than in my job. And so I went, okay, there's something here. So that's automation. Automation is leveraging a system where once you set it up, you can essentially set it up and forget it. So setting it up was putting it for sale on a platform like eBay. That the medium changes. So right now you can do the exact same thing with Amazon. You go find a product, put it on Amazon. Amazon's selling 10, 15, 20, 100. One of my friends, he's selling thousands of copies of what he's selling on Amazon every week. And now his problem is making sure that the supply is catered to, because Amazon's a beast and people are just rapidly buying it on there all day long. So that's where it all started. That's the inception.
Yeah, perfect. Now, we talked and mentioned that you exited a tech company recently. So obviously there's been lots of learnings. You started, the typical entrepreneurial journey. You found something and leveraged it to the tilt. So what were the lessons having gone into a big tech company and then exiting? What were the lessons there?
Ooh, do
I know,
we talk about? We're just going to talk about all the good stuff, right? None of the bad stuff.
totally up to you. We know there's both.
No, I'm joking. I'm saying, usually people just talk about the good stuff, not the bad stuff. It's business. Business is like a heartbeat. There's ups and downs, and it's just part of the game. As long as the trajectory's upwards, it's all good. So how did this one start? So this one started. I moved into a building in Melbourne. And when I moved in, they said, "This is the best building in Australia." I went, "Great, fantastic." And I'm not in Australia, in Melbourne. Don't want the Gold Coast guys to get upset. They've got big, giant, tall buildings there. And so when I moved in, then I get this piece of paper come under my door. And the piece of paper says, "Your windows will get cleaned tonight." I went, "Okay, that's interesting." And then I get another one that evening saying, "The gym is out of order." Then I get another one in the morning saying, "The pool is in for maintenance between these hours." I went, "Wow, that's interesting." There's a piece of paper with one sentence, and everybody's got this thing. So I left it alone. A month later, I'm walking past my door, and I keep collecting these pieces of paper. I've got an inch of paper sitting on my table next to the door with one sentence on it. So I take this, go down to the building manager and go, "Hey, how much is this costing me?" He said, "It's $1 per sheet." $1, 500 apartments twice a day. That's $1,000 a day, $365,000 a year spent just to let me know something, a notification. So I said, "Hey, we build an app for the building." And he goes, "I don't know what that means." By the way, this is 2012. He goes, "I don't know what it means." I said, "Let me show you." So I went to Dubai, looked at their tech, came back. Anyway, so we created a building management system and a mobile app technology that created communication, cost efficiency, and community. And so now this thing, when I showed it to them, I said, "Hey, you said you're the best building in Melbourne. What about this thing?" They go, "We need that. We'll have it." So they got it. So once they had it, all the building manager goes, "Hey, I've got all these other buildings that we manage. Can we put this into all those buildings?" So that's how this business started. And then after, I forget, it's either 2 or 3 years, he retired. He said, "Hey, I'm retiring." He was 70 years old at the time. Okay, cool. Well, I've got this. No, I'll take it over. I'll buy that. And I'm sitting there and I said, "Hey, universe, I'm not a person to go around to buildings and sell this technology. Please make my life easier." And I get a phone call from these guys who say, "Hey, we've been trying to copy your software for the last 2 years. We haven't been going to buy you out or to partner with you." I said, "Okay, cool. Let's talk about partnership." So I'm sitting down we meet up at Brighton, and we're sitting down at the table, and I'm sitting there going, how did I find myself at the table with these titans? Which is a whole nother level of conversation. The last company that these guys built together was a $1.2 billion company. So, just to give some context. So anyway, so we carry on with that, and we build, grow, scale the company, and then we exited in 2019. Lessons learned in then, hey, different life journeys. So at that point in time, I was 10 years young. So I was in my early 30s. And most of the other guys, they're in their late 60s, 70s. And so different levels of energy, different levels of dedication. I was young and ready to go and full of energy, working 18-hour days. And these guys are like, "Yeah, we'll just have like 2 meetings this month," and all that kind of stuff. So there was a discrepancy in their energy input into the business. I'm ready to go. These guys are holding back, all that sort of stuff. Because, hey, they've already made it. This is just a little fun thing for them. It's nothing significant. So there's in businesses, when in business partnerships, and I've had many over my last couple of decades. The business partnership I'm in right now is amazing, and it is the best one, and I hope it's the last one, right? I don't want any more. But the reason why it's so good is because there's a complete alignment of values.
Yeah.
When your values are the same, when your goals are the same, and every day you're talking. Like I talk to my business partner, probably about 20 or 30 times a day. My wife says I talk to him more than I talk to her, right? And his wife says the same thing. And that's where you're really enjoying the journey. So business partnerships, values alignment is very, very important. Me and those other guys, we had a completely different values mismatch. I wanted to build and grow something. They wanted to jump in, get a couple of awesome deals, and then exit. And
Jump
so
out.
that's, yeah, and jump out. And it wasn't, to me, it was, I'm dedicating the next 20 years of my life to this thing. And they were like, we're going to go get some clients, prove that it works, and then sell it to somebody who's got the teams to take it on and get it going up. And so that's what ended up happening. So when we exited, it was that's what happened. But again, it's a great lesson to learn about values and understanding who to be in business with. Now, with this business, when you're in alignment, you can grow and scale very, very quickly. What we've achieved in the last 4 years, I would never have thought possible. And what we are about to achieve in the next 2 years, if you told me 4 years ago, I would have said, wow, that dude's a dreamer. So thanks, Pastor Johann, for setting all this stuff up, right? And now with the advent of AI, we can do what used to take us 6 months to do, we could do in 4 days.
Yeah,
that was a month ago. And
yeah.
now, sorry, I keep cutting you off. Now with the new technology that came out last week, what takes us 4 days, we can now do in 30 minutes. So
Yeah,
AI
that was
is
what I was
here to
just
compress
going to
time.
say. Yeah. So when you said 4 days, I sort of went, really? That surprised me, because I've seen the stuff that and hear you guys talk, and I can see what's happening. And I was on a call the other day, and we were talking. It was actually with Deb King, because you know Deb King,
Oh
don't you?
yes, yep.
And we were talking about how the rate of change is occurring, and how over the next 4 years the rate of change is, I think it was 800 years in, it's just so fast. When you said 4 days, it was like, really? But I'm glad it's 30 minutes, because I like change. It still freaks me out. I've got to catch up with it, like so many of our audience members do, which is why it's so great to have you talking to us on this subject, and bursting some of the myths and sharing some of the possibilities. So and I'm more than happy for you to cut me off and talk, because this is absolutely your space of genius. So thank you. So before we dive into, and I want to really pick into the AI and the automation as it relates for businesses, I do think it's really important to also share with people what inspired you to create the Business Authority community, and how that legacy is evolving for you.
Yeah, for sure. So I hadn't been to seminars in a long time. So I started my business, my digital agency business, in 2008. And so I was just busy working in the business, and I stopped going to education where you have to go and educate your brain and upgrade and all that. I was just in the doing of the thing. And then one of my friends said, you need to come to this seminar. It's going to be amazing. You have to come and make time. I said, all right, cool, I'll come. And I go to this event, and I'm sitting down, and I think there were about 50 people in the room. Sitting next to me is a little old lady. She's 65 years old. And, we built up a friendship. This was a full day event. And at the end of it, the speaker is an American who is pitching from stage a $25,000 product, which he promises will build you can click a button and it'll build a website, and you make money from Google AdSense, from Google Ads, right? Which, it's just a tiny little loophole which Google fixes up in a couple of days, and it's fixed, like it's gone. I'd never do any businesses where it's just about a loophole. Anyway, the little old lady next to me, she's saying, hey, I've got $26,000 as my life savings. I'm going to go and invest in this product. And I said, please don't. Like, it's not going to, I go, by the time you're going to make back your $25,000 investment, you're not going to, this technology won't exist. Like, Google will have fixed that loophole in the next couple of months. It's not going to exist. Anyway, she said, no, you're young. I don't have any time. This is my legacy. This is all I'm going to leave for my kids. I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to build 1,000 websites making me $1 per day. And that's how I'm going to make my investment back. I went, okay. I go, please don't do it. But she did it. And then this guy, American guy, he just, nothing against Americans, by the way. I'm just saying this, he just happened to be an American. So he just takes off, and he doesn't help anyone, because I knew quite a few people who bought this program. I kept in touch with them. They didn't give them any help, but they couldn't go and chase them down and all that kind of stuff. So I went, wow, there's all these people who come here and they promise the world, but they don't deliver. So during this time, I've got some amazing people who are at the forefront of what they're doing. They're the best of the best that I've met through my business journey. And I said, hey guys, we're going to run an event. And the event is going to be a 2-day event where by the start and by the end of it, you're going to walk out with a blueprint for your business. No one is going to pitch you from stage. So you pay the price. Life is like a buffet, not a restaurant. A restaurant, you go in, you order whatever you want, you eat, then you pay the price. Whereas a buffet, you pay the price first, and then you don't have to worry about it, and you just get to do whatever you got to do, right? So yeah. So this one, they paid the price. They came in, and at the end of that 2 days, those 150 people were so buzzed that the community turned into 3,000 people. So we used to run these events, and to this day. So we stopped business authorities in 2001 as soon as COVID hit, and we couldn't. I'm a live person. Like, I love being with people, real people in the room. And so, and when that happened and everybody said, let's go on Zoom, I said, sorry, we're just going to put this on pause until all the COVID stuff's finished, and we'll come back. And so we're looking to reactivate that next year, which is great. And so the community is still there, community is still active. There's deals always getting passed amongst all the members and stuff like that. But one tiny little decision had yielded 3,000 people getting together and helping each other. And so that's business, right? We're all here to help each other grow, scale, learn from each other. And that's what I love about being in the business community. One of our core beliefs is that business owners change the world. Governments try to manage things, and they do a really bad job of it. But business owners, they're the ones who are innovating, creating value. The bigger their business gets, the more successful it is, the more people they can hire, which means the more lives that they're impacting, the more lives that are getting impacted. If you pay those people really well, guess what happens? Their families grow up in a stress-free environment. There's no such thing as stress-free, but at least financially less stress, right? When you don't have those financial stress, the kids, it's been proven through studies, the kids are becoming innovators because the parents are there and the parents can pass down knowledge. And so when the parents can pass down knowledge, the kids have a higher IQ, higher level of thinking, and so they can articulate things and come into the world more prepared than kids whose both the parents are working too hard and they never see them and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to go down family dynamics, but when the parents are less stressed, the kids are less stressed, the kids turn into innovators. The innovators generally become leaders, and leaders build more businesses. So that's my little circle.
I love that. And I know we've grown up in similar rooms over years when we've sort of cross-checked some of our networks that we've been involved in, and where where I feel like I've grown up and continue to grow up. The reason I do what I do is because I've had and seen the people run to the back of the room and purchase the not quite the right program, and seen the expert at the front of the room, the guru, run off into the sunset with everyone's money, which has always been one of my pet peeves, which was why I wanted you to really come on and share the legacy that you've been building and talk to everyone as it relates to the business community, because I absolutely see all the dynamics that occurs with all of the connections within the communities that I do share with you, which is in itself incredibly profound. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to dive into a little bit of the AI and the automation. Now, you've talked about the importance of building a legacy and how business owners can create that long-term impact through their own innovation, which then gets passed down to our kids, etc. as well. And it's very clear that you understand that AI is a game changer for business growth. How can small businesses or small enterprises utilize AI to be that game changer in the business landscape?
For sure. So any and every business. Now, we've had AI for 2 years. We, as in the masses, have had AI for 2 years. Everyone should be on ChatGPT. You don't have to be on the paid version, even the free version. It'll revolutionize your thinking, because when you go into it, we've never had a time where we have access to the entire population's brain smarts, right?
Yeah.
All of the knowledge in the entire world throughout our entire history, plus the latest cutting edge stuff, is in the palm of your hand on your phone. And all you got to do is download the ChatGPT app, log in, and click the little headphones button, and you can just talk to it. And I did a little exercise. I literally clicked that little headphones button. I went for a walk with my puppy, and I started talking to it. And I talked to it for 20 minutes, telling it all my hopes, my dreams, and everything else. And I said, hey, one of the things I want you to do by the end of this conversation is to build me. Now, this is a big number, but you can change the number to whatever you like. I said, I need an extra 10 million by end of December. Let's build a plan together to make that happen. And it came out. The conversation lasted for 2 hours. So we're sitting down, we're talking to it. And 2 hours later, it gives me a book that's 400 pages long with every ad that I need to run, every email that I need to write, every person who I need to target. It's the entire playbook. So we launched that. So this conversation happened in September last year. We launched that book, that playbook, in November. By the end of November, it had brought in a significant amount of profits that my business partner and I were sitting there going, what the heck? What the heck? How did this happen? This is crazy. Like it's literally like having found money, and it's just coming in all day long. And it's because of ChatGPT. And so just a conversation with, you asked me about, just normal businesses. Go into it. Talk to it about your business. Talk to it about where you want your business to be, your dreams, your aspirations. Everyone is different. Nobody starts a coffee shop and hopes to just build a coffee shop. They hope to be the next Starbucks, etc. And so tell it your hopes and dreams and aspirations. And it'll give you a game plan. And if you want, it'll give you a daily game plan. If you want, it'll give you an hourly game plan. It'll know how to do your finances. It knows how to do your marketing. It knows how to do your hiring. It knows how to set up your KPIs. It knows how to do your legals. It can, with the next versions that are coming out, it'll be able to reconcile your accounts, right?
Yeah.
There's new tech that just came out last week where I can have an entire organization, my entire organization, and every one of their counterparts, AI counterparts, set up. So I'll paint a picture for you. I can be having a team meeting with my executive team. And then I can say, hey, let's bring in the finance AI. The finance AI comes in, and I can say, hey, we're thinking of running this promotion next month. What do you think? Can you tell us what will be the impact? And it has all of our data. So it'll say, hey, here's the different scenarios. Here's what can happen. Which scenario do you want to do? This one. Let's bring in the marketing AI. Hey, we're thinking of doing this scenario. We need all the marketing collateral built out for it. Can you go do that? And then we can put them in a room, and they can go build it and come back and then present it to us. This is AI presenting to us, not humans. Right? But they have access to all the data. So now you can build an entire organization filled with AI, and that is the smartest, and it's trained on your business and on you and your goals. And now it's creating whatever you need it to create. We've never had a time like this.
Yeah, it's just moving so quickly. And you've just freaked me out, because that was even more than I was aware of and knew. And I'm sort of giggling to myself because I got an email last week from one of my speaker buddies that has been emailing me, hey, Sally, I need to do some brainstorming on this for this particular talk and this particular client. Can you, because he knows I use ChatGPT, can you send me some stuff back so I've got somewhere to start? And he's just ventured to using it himself, and I got an email, and that's in its so simple state. And I got an email from him not many days ago saying, "Oh my God, this ChatGPT is amazing!" It's like, welcome to the world, and it's a world of possibilities, isn't it now?
100%. We ran a summit last July, I think it was, and one of the speakers, massive admiration for the guy, but he's a behind the scenes guy. He doesn't get up on stage and speak and stuff. And so I said, no, if you're coming and speaking on my stage, because he said, I'm going to hire someone to come do my spot. I go, it doesn't work that way. I want you there. He goes, but I'm scared. I'm terrified to be on stage. I don't know how to present. So I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, ChatGPT, do you know Russell Brunson's perfect webinar pitch? And it said, yes, I do. I said, and then I just clicked the share. I said, can you help me build out a deck with everything here? And it said, yes, I can. I clicked the share button on ChatGPT, send it to him. I said, just fill out the details. And I asked it, ask me all the questions so you can build out the deck. So it builds out this deck for him. He comes into our event and he does his thing. And he was one of the most, everybody loved him. They all wanted everything that he had. And they're like, this is the, and so he emails me back going, you changed my life, because from that one little share of the ChatGPT, he can now do this presentation multiple times. And now he's growing and scaling rapidly. And it's because the AI already knows the best frameworks for selling his type of product. So
Yeah, perfect. Now I'm going to ask the question as it relates to connection and humanization. So you're utilizing, and this is the great distinction, you're utilizing AI as it relates to systems, understanding your business, and getting massive time leverage. And obviously it's helping your team, where you've got teams of people, actually leverage stuff as well. So there's obviously this huge divide in the world with AI versus the humanization. Everything that I know you do and that you've shared and have seen is the bringing together of those two for the opportunities that are available, depending on which opportunities you want to pick, because there is bucket loads, as you've just expressed. So where do you see the two coming together, both positively and negatively, potentially?
I'll give you an example. So I got invited to speak to a very successful group of people, and while I'm walking in, before I was walking in, this is my preparation. I went, I want to build rapport with the chair. So I took the chair's LinkedIn profile and I put it into Notebook LM, and I said, hey, understand this person and tell me how to build rapport really quickly. And it told me, talk to him about luxury travel, talk to him about Spain, blah, 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 blah. And it told me all the topics. So now, as I'm walking into this room and I see him at the coffee stand, and I walk up, and one of the things that it said was talk to him about Spain. Now, I'd just come back from Spain. I did a pilgrimage with my father. We did the Camino de Santiago. That's a whole nother different topic. But I had this ring. Now, this ring doesn't mean anything to anybody except for the people who've done this trek or know of this trek. And so I go to get my coffee, and I hand him, he asked for pass the glass. I passed him the glass with my left hand. So he saw the ring on my finger, and he goes, oh, wow, that's from Spain. I said, yes, it is. And then I talked to him about luxury travel and all this stuff. And within 3 minutes, by the end of that 3 minutes, he said, I feel like we're kindred spirits. We have to meet. We have to have a coffee after this. Let's catch up. And I said, great, let's do that. So in 3 minutes, I was able to build rapport with the gentleman who is admired and respected by so many. And all it took was 3 minutes of me being able to articulate the right message to him. Now, I'm doing the presentation to the group, and I said, guys, I've got a confession to make, and I'm sorry, this might upset the chair, but I showed it, the research. I put in his LinkedIn profile, and I said, show me how to build rapport, and told me to talk about these topics, and those are the topics I spoke to him about. And that's how we literally instantly built rapport. And he just went red, and he went, I can't believe that was AI. He goes, I understand that we did build a genuine connection because we talked about things, but the AI directed and showed me how to shortcut it. So instead of us spending an hour trying to figure it out and figuring out all the different connections, 3 minutes, and we were the best of friends. So that's the thing that AI can do. It can understand an entire person's profile. Like we have, anybody who talks about privacy and things, there is no privacy. If you have Facebook, if you have Instagram, if you're doing Google searches, and in the future, all of your chat GPT, I believe that we will be interviewing people and saying, show me your chat GPT, and type in, tell me your weaknesses, and it will tell you. I've done that with chat GPT myself. I said, point out my blind spots, tell me where I'm weak, and what am I for? And it'll tell you, because it knows you so well, because you've been talking to it for 2 years. It knows everything that's in your world. And even though you try to keep some things from it, you can't. It knows everything. I'm perplexed between being really excited because I've just got goosebumps and going, oh my God, I'm going to do that after we get off this call. I'm going to actually ask it, other than all of my treacherous repeating spelling errors that it's got used to understanding because I type very quick. But amazing. So now let's talk about utilizing that, what I'm going to call intel, for good, especially for the types of entrepreneurs and the people that we have in our community that are those legacy leavers that are creating real significant positive change in the world, becoming the leaders that are, changing the world as well. How can we utilize AI? Because this leads into the, understanding the human and the lead generation opportunities that you've also crafted with your latest technology build. Yeah, for sure. So my business partner has been building this for 13 years. So it's nothing new in terms of the concept is not new, but it
Mm.
has been enhanced by AI so dramatically. So he used to sell this on CDs at trade shows. Nowadays, when I talk to people and say its inception was on CDs and trade shows, and people say, "What's a CD?" I'm like, "Oh my God, how old
Hello.
are you?"
Yeah.
So anyway, so now what it does is it understands who what my business is. If it understands my business, it also understands what the the businesses I'm trying to talk to are. And then
Mm.
it understands, hey, in that business, who are the people I need to connect with? And then once it knows that, it tells me how to connect with them, which
Mm.
social media platforms, which topics are of interest. And so now I can say, hey, you know what? I want to fill a room in Melbourne with business leaders, and I want to invite all the CEOs in Melbourne who think leadership and legacy are important. And
Mm.
now it'll find all of those guys. It'll start talking to them and saying, hey, I know who you are, and I know that leadership and legacy is important. We're creating we've created an event. It's specifically for people like you. Here's another 20 people who we've invited. We would love for you to join. Let me know if you can come. Now, that person who receives it, they go, wow, this person has researched me. They
Mm.
understand who I am. They understand what value I'm bringing to the world. They've curated a room with 20 other people just like me who I want to meet. I'm going to come. And at that point in time, it doesn't matter whether it's $100, $200, $1,000. The value is already created. And because they know who they're going to be meeting and the value that they're going to get out of it, they will
Mm.
show up.
Yeah. Can I
So
just add in there, because I've my background, as you know, has been putting bums on seats for events, and I have seen the god awful emails that people send out to all of their connections, or all the people that they want to spammily invite to these events, and I've seen the god awful versions of those personalized things. And I've got to say straight away, as you were sharing that with me, that I could feel that, and it felt so genuine.
you,
So that was
yeah,
just my little 2 cents.
you felt the good version, not the spammy version.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's not about using our tool to send out 10,000 emails or anything like that. It's about business is about relationships.
Yeah.
So if I can build 100 good relationships, that is worth more to me than send. This one guy, he said, "Oh, I saw this tool. It's like yours, and I used it to send out 10,000 emails a day to my webinar." I said, "Oh, great. How many people signed up for your webinar?" He goes, 6. I go, how many people showed up to the webinar? He goes, 2. I go, how many people bought? He goes, none. I go, you just wasted all that effort, didn't
Yeah,
you? If you
and
put that
annoyed
same energy and effort, sorry, go on,
a lot of people. Yeah.
and annoyed a lot of people and broke a lot of laws, right? So
Yeah.
here it's about knowing the exact person who you want to talk to, why you want to talk to them, identifying that in the first email. Hey,
Mm.
Sally, I think you're amazing. I know this is what you do. You take my book and you can help me create content for the rest of the year. Can we please meet?
Mm.
you know, it's a simple, hey, I know who I'm talking to. This is
Mm.
why I'm talking to you. This is the outcome I want.
Mm.
And are you interested? And if they don't reply to the first email, we send another one saying, important, just making sure you got this, Sal. And then the third one, we only sent 3. The third one says, hey, Sal, I understand this is probably not the right time. I apologize for occupying your inbox. Just letting you know I'll be deleting you from my database because I want to respect you. That's it.
Yeah.
And those 3 emails. And what happens on that third one is people go, what? Who is this person? Why are they? What do you mean? Because people don't talk like that, right? And
Yeah.
then they'll go back and they'll click and they'll watch the 2-minute video that you put in there. And they go, actually, hey, Sal, don't delete me. I'm interested. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. And isn't that all about having, even though the two-way conversations not initially been there, it's created the curiosity. Then through that curiosity, that connection's been created, and then it crafts the conversation, which then leads to the collaboration, which is the beauty of it.
Yep. Yep.
Mind blowing. Okay. Can you share some examples, if you can, of some of the businesses that you're working with that are actually utilising this, that may have had and still do have sales teams. So I always think of, having been in the business development arena for many, many years and been involved in teams over those years, I've been one of those bunnies that, used to go through the yellow pages and make phone calls and do all that, crazy stuff. And if you don't know what a yellow pages is, just Google it. So let's talk somebody that's in that sales environment that needs to connect with people that have got KPIs to deliver to, etc. For either for the organization, because I know you deal with both ends of the scale there. How is your tool going to assist these sorts of businesses level up and humanize? Because that's what we were just talking about, is that human element that the tool is actually enabling them to do.
Yep. So sales teams love it because it shortcuts so much work. They can click a button, and when they click those buttons, again, they have to tell it. I'm looking for CEOs in Melbourne who are into leadership and legacy. Here's a list of people. Click a button and understand, is this the right fit for our company? So once you click that button and it says yes, great, let's add them to the list. And so it takes about 10, 20 seconds per person if you want to actually make sure that you're making good relationships. I'm sorry, we can't do everything, but once you do figure out those keywords are the right people, you can set this thing up on a pilot. So now it'll find more and more people just like that. But that initial phase of finding the right people and going, yes, these are the keywords, great. So once we find them, the sales teams, they can click that button and it'll now send an email directly. And it'll say, hey, Sal, this is exactly what I said. The reason I'm reaching out is because here's a 2-minute video. And by the way, the 2-minute video is what we found over the last 4 years, and literally thousands, millions, hundreds of thousands and millions of emails through all of our clients. It's the 2-minute video that works. Because if I ask you, hey, Sal, can you jump on the phone for an hour with me? No, I'm busy. Hey, Sal, can you watch this webinar, which goes for 45 minutes? No, thanks. I prefer watching Netflix. Hey, Sal, can you watch this 20-minute training? No, I've got enough training. I've got enough tabs open. Hey, Sal, can you watch this 10 minutes? No. Hey, Sal, can I have 2 minutes of your time? This is how I'd like to work with you. And you can put it on 2 times speed. All right, cool. I'll give you a minute. Click. And within 10 seconds, you've either made a decision to exit that or to continue. So that's the decision making. So the sales teams, now they're reaching out to the right person with the right message. So this is very key. There's no point reaching out to people if you don't have the right message. The right message is the offer. How are you going to help them get better? The brain is wired for survival or thriving, right? For survival or thriving. And if the information that we're giving you is going to help you survive, great. But if it's going to help you thrive, you're going to say, wow, okay, I want to learn more. So if your messaging is about them, about their business, and about how to get their business to the next level, then it's about thriving. Then they're going to open it, they're going to watch it, they're going to learn more from it, they're going to be more interested. And through that series, it's going to build the know, like, trust. Now, the way we build know, like, trust is usually by spending an hour with the person. That's where all your brain goes, I like this person, I trust this person, I now know them, and I know what their agenda is, right? So we can now achieve that through these. You send the 2-minute video, and in that 2-minute video, you'll talk about 7 different things. It doesn't have to be 7, might be 5, might be 3. Let's go 3 different things. You talk about 3 different things of how to grow and scale your business for leaders who want to create impact. Great little thing. They click, they watch, and by the end of that 2 minutes, you go, hey, by the way, I go into thing number 1. In the next video, it goes for 5 minutes. Would love for you to have that exact strategy of how you can implement it and get results now. They're going to click that button. They're going to watch the next 5 minutes. At the end of that, it goes, hey, we've got video number 2 coming up, which goes into strategy number 2, video number 3. Click, and now they click, and by the time they watch these videos, 3 or 4 videos, they've actually consumed about 20 to 30 minutes of your content. They already now know, like, and trust you. And that's how you build that relationship. And now, because the CRM, the AI, all that stuff, the salespeople know who's clicked on what, which part of the life cycle of that, the sales cycle, I should say, they're in. Just makes their life easier. So that's the salespeople. Let me give you a quick little story about a restaurant. So in our business, in our business, all day, every day, we've got agencies signing up, business coaches signing up, people who are running events, authors, etc. So they sign up, which is normal. Then I see a restaurant signed up, and I went, we don't do B2C. So I called up the guy, and I said, hey, just letting you know, I'm going to cancel your account. We don't do B2C. You're a restaurant. He goes, no, wait. I've watched all your YouTube videos. This will work. I said, okay, cool. What do you got in mind? And so he goes, hey, so I'm opening up my restaurant in 2 weeks. Okay, great. He goes, I think it's Seattle, middle of the city. He goes, I said, okay, can you go outside, look around, tell me what you see? He goes, I see this building, this building, this building. I go, great. Can you go in and get the names on the building of the companies that are in those buildings? And he goes in and comes back, puts those companies into our tool. And now he has everyone who works there. And he sends them an email. Hey, neighbor, we're opening up in 2 weeks. Would love for you to come down for our grand opening. Here's a voucher for a free bottle of wine with your dinner. Here's a voucher for 20% off your lunch, or here's a free muffin when you buy breakfast. That was it's the same message that we have done since the 60s and 70s. It's, hey, I'm having a grand opening, but except you'd be going around giving papers to everybody saying, grand opening, come on down for the special deal. Whereas here, it's just like, boom, here's all the people who work in those buildings around him. And at his opening day, it was lines of people, right? So nice, simple, easy.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back in there and just recap that for others that have just to make sure that they've got that. This is a Sally Nag coming on. So he's got the AI your AI tool. He's actually walked out his front door, recognised the significant buildings, gone in, and what I would have done would have been, looked at the, who's who are in the building and photographed that. So he's got that intel, and he's put that building specific intel into the system, and then the system has gone about finding all of the key people, building the relationships, and then sending out the opportunities. Now, going back to my sales days, that would have involved me coming home with that photograph of, who are the buildings, going through the yellow pages or Google or whatever to find the right people, not being able to get the information, and that would have taken ages. And he's all been able to do this within probably his manual part was probably an hour, and then the bit that he does for you is just sort of almost instantaneous.
It is literally nearly instantaneous. You type in the name of the company, click, boom, there they all are. And then you click another button and send them the emails, and it's all done. But yes, you're right. The setting up, by the way, so I don't want to make it sound too easy. There is a setup phase where he had to set up, hey, when I add these people into the campaign, I want them to receive the voucher for the free wine. That has to be set up because only he knows the offer. So,
yeah. So that's coming back to, business 101 common sense. You have to know your target market intimately and be able to craft and deliver the right offers for them, etc.
For sure.
Yeah. There was a couple of other questions, and I'm just making sure, trying to choose now that between which ones I'm going to ask. Okay, if someone's listening today and wants to embrace AI in their business, and they've been having the, oh, that's exciting, oh my God, that's terrifying, to and fro that many people do until they've got in and experienced and seen the value and the opportunities in it. For those that are wanting to embrace it but feel a little bit overwhelmed, what's one additional thing? Because I know you talked about talking to ChatGPT as one little tip, and I think that's such a great takeaway. What's the one thing that they should start doing now for their business as it relates to AI?
Yeah, for sure. So there's different ways if you're a product owner and if you're a service provider. So there's different ways to do business, different ways to leverage AI. Again, ChatGPT is the best way to start. Once you learn that, then you'll understand the differences between ChatGPT, Grok, Manus, Perplexity, etc. Actually, I'm gonna start with this. One of my friends takes me out for dinner. Did I tell you this story? I can't remember if I did. And his core product is a loyalty rewards program. $3,000 is what he charges restaurants to build a loyalty rewards program for them. So we catch up twice a year around that. And so now it's been a year since we last caught up, and we're at dinner, and he goes, Johann, dinner's on me. I said, oh, we're celebrating. Okay, what are we celebrating? And he said, well, I used to sell loyalty rewards programs for $3,000 to restaurants. Now I'm selling $1 million contracts to Australia's top 500 businesses. By now, so how is he doing that? By the way, it's the exact same product.
Mm.
He sat down with Perplexity. Perplexity is another AI. And he said, "Hey, this is what I have, this is what I want, this is my technology, and this is my end goal. Help me craft the offer to target more, things, and here's the key: be harsh and help me make decisions to get me to my goal. No need to sugarcoat it." Because the
Oh,
AI right now, the AI is designed to tell you everything that you're doing is great. So it'll always give you a back pat and say,
yeah,
"Wow, that's amazing, great, woohoo." So
yeah, it
by
does.
removing the sugarcoating part, it came back to him and said, "You think that you have a rewards program. What you actually have is an advertising platform." And he went, "What?" And then it articulated how he's got an advertising platform. It helped him create the offer. It helped him pick out who he should be targeting. It showed him and designed out the pitch deck of how he should be pitching. Now, this
Mm,
is 2 days of work, like literally one weekend. He just decided to lock himself in his office and just work, just talk to the Perplexity.
yeah,
Perplexity is like ChatGPT. And 2 days later, he's come out with a brand new battle plan of how he's going to target these things. And then he starts doing it. And then he lands his first, by the way, one of his clients is Dan Murphy's. You know how big that is.
mm,
Another one
mm,
is, anyway, well, I won't reveal all of his clients, but they are the top 500 companies in Australia. Out of those, he's got 10. He's now planning to do an exit of 50 million at the end of this year.
wow,
A year before, a year and a half ago, he was selling $3,000 programs to restaurants. Now
yeah,
he's selling $1 million contracts to the top 500, all because he spent 2 days with AI locked up and helping using AI to understand his business goals and then to help him get there quicker.
yeah,
So that's the power of if you can sit down and take the time. I've got 2 kids. There's life is just so busy. Finding that 1 hour or 2 hours to just sit down and do stuff is a lot. So sometimes we have to make sacrifices. The other day, Saturday at night, I just said, I'm just going to sit here and just going to build and create. And I spoke to AI for 5 hours and something brand new, amazing came out of it. And our entire platform's evolving just because of that one conversation. So
yeah,
it's important, make time, because you'll never get this opportunity to do it right now at this time will never exist again. And
yeah.
every day that you're not talking to it and not getting guided by it, your competitors are.
Yeah. So in that recap, the things that I love here is that you're actually, as long as you've got some frameworks, and most successful businesses will have the frameworks, they'll understand their target market, they'll know what their goals are, they know what their offers are, etc. As long as you can craft out that time to, I'm going to use my term, ramble to it, it will pick up all of the relevant. I find when I'm in my rambling stages, as long as I'm getting it into, ChatGPT, it picks up all of the gold nuggets. It works out what it needs to. So as long as you can speak to it, which people often find easier than sitting there and typing, as long as you can speak to it, you can create these incredible opportunities. I love the framing around the little prompts around, not sugarcoating it, and being brutal, and helping you identify gaps. I think there's some of the key opportunities that AI and etc. is bringing forward to us. So, in finally wrapping up, because we've only got a couple of minutes left, how can people get in contact with you, and what? So I've got 2 questions there. How can people get in contact with you as it relates to white label, and also what do you see as going to be the next big changes?
Yeah, great. So how can they get in touch with me? Company is called White Label Suite. The reason it's called White Label Suite is because you can white label our technology, brand it as your own, and sell it to your audiences. We've all got multiple different audiences, and
Mm,
2,500 clients later, no one's ever crossed paths with saying, "Hey, that's," and so whitelabelsuite.com.
yep,
Connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. Pick one of those. Just type my name in. You'll find me there.
yep,
And then you said, how is things evolving? I believe
yep,
that we are now going to see billion-dollar companies getting born out of this new AI. I was just reading an article before this. The first AI has closed $100 million in sales in real estate in Portugal. So an AI all by itself has done $100 million in sales in Portugal. You can Google the thing. I double checked to make sure that it was accurate. And I went, wow, what a time to be alive. So there's so many changes coming. Businesses are going to be evolving so quickly. One of the platforms we use is Lovable. So we went into lovable.ai and typed in, hey, we were about to spend $90,000 in this brand new module that we were going to build. One of my guys said, hey, no, go use Lovable. We typed it in, uploaded the brief, and in 5 minutes, it built out 80% of our thing, which was going to take our normal dev team 3 months to do. Again. So that one platform, Lovable, is now doing to programmers what Canva did to graphic designers.
Yeah. Holy moly. And there's the rate of change. Jesse's just asked a quick question, which we can probably just finish up on, which is, can ChatGPT create animation for people?
Animations for people. So does that... So can it create still images? Yes. Can you take that and put it into something like 11 Labs, Flux, etc.? Yes, and then turn it into animations. So my kids are actually doing this. They're designing things out, and then they're taking it, putting it into other AIs. Marvel, the big fight scene with the Avengers, they're all fighting at the airplane thing, and then they're just changing the characters around, and now they've built a ninja forest. So they replaced the airport with the forest. They replaced all the characters with ninjas. Now you got ninjas fighting in the forest, which with the animations from Michael Bay or whoever has done that cinematography.
Yeah, perfect. So it's using them from one to the other. Johann, an incredible conversation. My mind is blown more than I anticipated. Thank you very, very much. I love how you've blown our minds, but also kept it really simple as to how we can all take our first steps with AI and start to see all of those opportunities for ourselves, and opportunities being the key thing there. Thank you again very much for joining us. Muchly appreciated.
Thank you, Sally. It's an honor to be here, and I love you.
Thank you very much. I love you too. Thank you, everyone. We will look forward to seeing you on another episode of Success Secrets Exposed. Till then, take care.
Remember, if you want to be sought after and sold out, as well as being known as the obvious expert in your industry, you need to speak with Sally, our host of Success Secrets Exposed. Sally is the founder of Monetize Your Content, a done-for-you content marketing agency that helps you be easy to buy. See you next week on another episode of Success Secrets Exposed. Tune in live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or Wednesday mornings in Australia on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV.